deal but to make sure he talks to the CIO so it doesn't happen again. He says he'll do it right away. 2 days later I checked in with him and the CEO still hadn't talked to the CIO because the investors were in town. I gently pushed him to get it done and casually mentioned that my best friend who happened to be a lawyer was the one who urged me to tell him because any good CEO would want to know about it. I reiterate I'm not mad or upset. The only word he heard was lawyer. He went apeshit that I was bringing a lawyer into the mix. Now, this guy was my good friend. We'd worked together at 2 companies for years. I calmed him down, explaining that I only wanted him to talk to the CIO. I also told him I hadn't brought a lawyer into it and that I had been innocently chatting with my friend who just happens to be a criminal defense attorney. He seemed okay and we hung up. The next day I'm working as usual and I get a call from an attorney who explains the company has hired her regarding my intimate harassment claim. I'm flummoxed and adamantly told her that was not the case, that I had no claim against the company. She said otherwise and that's when everything changed. The CEO was furious with me for bringing this on when investors were looking at us. His reaction set the tone which filtered down and the company began to retaliate against me. The VP now made it her mission to make my life hell, forgetting to tell me about important meetings I was supposed to attend, freezing me out when I was in the office, telling me I could no longer even speak to CIO, denying me a long-planned and approved vacation, basically anything she could devise to screw me over. Coinciding with this was a serious health problem I developed ultimately requiring surgery. My illness had no impact on my work as I was able to work from home which made things easier on me health-wise. The VP then decided that I need to come to the office every day despite a 3-hour round-trip commute. Now, I know what you're thinking, why didn't I just leave and get another job somewhere else? Well, I needed the health insurance. There was no way to turn around another job fast enough and I had a complex surgery scheduled requiring 3 surgeons for my procedure. My doctor gave me a note for them which released me from having to make the daily commute so I could continue to work at home. As long as my work didn't suffer, they legally couldn't force me to commute, especially since working from home was a part of my employment contract from the outset. The night before my surgery, the VP calls to tell me they'd canceled my health insurance. After hanging up with the VP I collapsed on the floor in a faint. I was so sick and mentally exhausted from all the stress. The next morning the CEO frantically calls asking to talk to me. My mom refuses to let him. I'm on official leave as of that morning and we're heading to the hospital. The CEO had told their lawyer about canceling my health insurance and she chewed him a new a-hole telling him it was illegal. They immediately reinstated my insurance, but that was only the beginning.